I love democracy.
I am not a committee!
Order! We shall have order!
I was not elected to watch my people suffer and die while you discuss this invasion in a committee.
My allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy!
This is outrageous! I object! Order!
So, boys, let's do the countdown of the best cameos. And we're coming to you first, Dave. Number 10, Lily Cole in The Last Jedi.
Yeah, Lily Cole in The Last Jedi. You know, I have no idea who she is.
She's in Doctor Who.
Oh, right, yeah, she was in Doctor Who. And she was in the Rise of Skywalker, was it?
The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi, yeah. So she's in the last... She's in
She was in
Doctor Who,
Canto Bite.
and she's in The Last Jedi in the Canto Bite scene. Go check it out. She's number 10.
Okay, we get in, we find this code breaker, we get out.
You know this town? Canto Bite?
From stories. It's a terrible place filled with the worst people in the galaxy.
If you're watching the video, you will see that Craig has inputted a actual image of her to go with Dave's really good words. 9. Okay, number 9 then, Craig. I'm coming to you, Timothy Zahn.
Timothy Zahn, yes, not strictly speaking a cameo in the traditional sense, but in the mid to late 90s, early 2000s, there was a customizable card game made by Decipher.
Star Wars customizable cards. Heard of them?
Should I have?
Fight for the galaxy?
Indeed.
This was notable for its use of great imagery that they cleaned up in Photoshop and used a lot of stills from the movies. But when they started to get into the expanded universe, you know, they were running out of options. So what they actually did was cast a couple of the authors as their creations, and Timothy Zahn stood in for his smuggler character Talon Card from the Heir to the Empire series. Nice for a creator to appear as one of their characters alongside Michael Stackpole, who appeared as Corran Horn. So yeah, not strictly speaking an on-screen nod, but a very knowing wink to the Star Wars expanded universe. And nice that it's made the top 10.
Buckle up, because this set's ready to play.
Star Wars customizable cards, the galaxy in a box. Featured cards assorted randomly.
So, number 8, I'm coming back to you, Dave. We're going with David Prowse. You heard of him?
I know this one. David Prowse, best known as Darth Vader, Green Cross Code Man for kids of a certain generation in the UK. But in Return of the Jedi, he was seen in the Rebel Fleet briefing room, right at the end of the scene where they're all exiting, walking up a flight of stairs, and you can just see Dave Prowse just to the left. He's wearing a sort of khaki Rebel technician outfit. He's just talking to someone just off camera, but just a nice little, not well publicized cameo compared to other Star Wars masked characters that appear in the movies. So it's nice to give him a little bit of a spotlight on this one.
General Solo, is your strike team assembled?
My team's ready. I don't have a command crew for the shuttle.
That's going to be rough, pal. I didn't want to speak for you.
That's one.
General, count me in.
I'm with you too.
What is it?
Ask me again sometime.
Luke.
Hi, Han. Chewie.
Exciting is hardly the word I would choose.
7. Back to you, Craig. I think I've just done Dave and Craig at the beginning of this. It's Bill Hader from the sequels.
Yes, and again, another one of those cameos that from the more modern era that's probably less well known. Bill Hader, American comedian and impressionist, did a little bit of work voicing BB-8 initially, but was a contribution that he considered so minimal that he's not somebody who goes around kind of claiming it.
Bill, what was that the Star Wars story? You met J.J. Abrams and you went up to him and you said, I want to do a voice in Star Wars, right? And then you did a voice.
No, it was J.J. called me and said, do you want to come in?
I want to talk to you, maybe doing a thing on Star Wars.
Right.
I went, oh, yeah, sure. And then he showed it to me, and I had no idea it was BB-8. It's like the new R2-D2. And I did a voice with my voice, and I could tell the guys in the room, everybody was like, no, this isn't happening.
You were just like Bill Hader.
Yeah, it was more like, it was me doing this thing, and they were going, no. And then, so we ended up doing was months and months later, JJ called me and said, we figured it out. It's a talk box, like the Peter Frampton talk box, into an iPad. So why don't you come in and do that?
Isn't it insulting? You know? They call you up, tell you to come in, and then you do a voice and they go, no.
I mean, that happens all the time.
It does it. Well, here's the voice actor. This is what ended up being the voice. It was,
Keep away from the sinking fields in the north. You'll drown in the sand.
that's you.
Yeah, I could tell.
You could tell.
If you knew Bill, you would know that's him.
You knew right away when you went to see the movie.
Yeah. When I saw Star Wars, I was like, Bill?
Dave, this has made it. It is your reversed cameo role. You're going to have to explain.
Yeah. So this is a slight bending of the rules entry, which I'm amazed it's actually then got listed within the top 10, which is amazing in itself. So rather than look at a cameo in a Star Wars production, this is taking a Star Wars person that then cameoed in something else. The music video to The Art of Noise, the theme from Peter Gunn, features the British comedy legend that is Rick Mayall as a private detective, recreating the old TV program of Peter Gunn in itself. And he's in a shady looking bar, and the barman is none other than Wooher, the actor who played the barman in Cantina and A New Hope, reprises his role, but not dressed as Wooher, but he is just playing a barman again in the music video for Peter Gunn by The Art of Noise. It's just so bonkers, it's ridiculous. I absolutely love it. So stoked that that's actually got featured, even though it is a blatant bending of the rules there.
Now, I can guarantee you, without looking, that you and Craig probably voted for that quite high. But I'll have to check that afterwards. So that is our 10 down to 6. Lily Cole in 10. 9, Timothy Zahn. 8, David Prowse. 7, Bill Hader. And 6, the reverse cameo with Wooer. Okay, so the top 5. Pete, I'm coming to you. 5. It's Richard Marquand.
So yeah, back from the original trilogy when the cameos were few and far between, and probably sort of better for it. And yeah, he is one of the drivers of the AT-ST. And just have another look at this. The guy beside him is Robert Watts, who's a film co-producer. So there was got a double cameo in the one scene. So they get, as we know, get taken out by Chewbacca and the 2 Ewoks. So they don't last long. But no, a very cool cameo. His canon name is Newland. It's cool to see that so high.
Look! Get him off of that!
Number 4 then, Jez, coming to you, John Williams.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. John Williams. Now this is lovely. So when John was first offered the part in Rise of Skywalker, he turned it down. He wasn't really interested. He went home, told his wife, and she convinced him, saying it was actually more important to do this than the score of the film. So this was he played the one-eyed or the champ with the eye patch in the bar in Rise of Skywalker. And it's just, again, blink and you'll miss it. But you'll see him just at the back as the camera goes through.
Okay, for anyone who doesn't know, and I think everyone kind of does and is probably giddy in their own way,
but just to say it so we're all well aware, we are in the presence of a supernatural genius, someone who does the impossible, someone who is now an actor. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only maestro, Mr. John Williams.
On the set, the props behind Williams consisted of 51 items specifically chosen to commemorate Williams and his other films.
You are surrounded by all this apparent junk.
Yeah.
Every single item has been very purposely chosen to represent one of the 51 Academy Award nominated films that you scored. So not only, there's Hook over there behind you. Oh my God. This is Jaws. There's E.T., Saving Private Ryan. Oh, there's the whip from Indiana Jones. That's the iron from Home Alone. I mean, literally, isn't that crazy? Isn't it incredible? Each piece. This is ridiculous.
It's great.
To have him in a movie and just see the man that we've been listening to all our lives, who's been moving us so profoundly. It was a blast to get to work with him in that way, and he was so lovely and seemed to have a really good time. Great energy, here we go. Set, 3, 2, 1, action. God, that was fantastic.
And the name which I mentioned earlier on, Ometrez, is an anagram of the word maestro. Really great cameo for the maestro behind the Our World, Our Galaxy, Far, Far Away. So happy with that. It's a good one.
And linking John Williams is into number 3 with Craig. E.T. is in the 10 there, Craig.
So E.T., yeah, not an actor cameo as such, but a species cameo. Spielberg and George Lucas, obviously friends many years, and Spielberg dropped a lot of little Star Wars Easter eggs in his movies through the years, from having, R2 and 3PO in the hieroglyphs in Raiders to, probably the most obvious is Yoda in E.T. So to return the favour, George put a little delegate of E.T.s in the Senate scene in The Phantom Menace when they were voting against Chancellor Valorum. And at the time, I remember a little bit of backlash. Oh, it's crossing the streams, does not compute. But clearly, its position in the top 3 means that it's sort of it's stuck in our imaginations and something that we are fond of. The fact that it's there, so yay for E.T.
I move for a vote of no confidence in Chancellor Valorum's leadership.
So we're down to the top 2, and I'm coming to you next, Pete. Second is Ralph McQuarrie.
Yes, very well deserved. So his cameo is in Echo Base when he's one of the rebel commanders, whose actually name, I think Jez picked up on this earlier, is Captain Fowler McQuarrie. Got an action figure on the back of it, which is well deserved for the guy who literally designed the universe we all love. But yeah, absolute legend. Great to see Ralph McQuarrie in there at number 2.
And I think this was always a given. Jez, I'm coming to you. Who is number 1?
Number 1 is the maker, George Lucas. And yeah, absolutely brilliant that he was in the movie. He was with his daughter in Revenge of the Sith, and as Anakin met with Supreme Chancellor Palpatine at the opera, he was with his daughter. He was the character Baron Notlowski Papadonia, or something along those lines. And yeah, nice to see. A little subtle thing there with his pale blue skin. And yeah, looking really, really good. So yeah, not much more to say about that, but it's good to see the maker, George Lucas, in the last of the prequels.
If you feel that Jez has mispronounced that, please let him know. Contact him one-to-one and just correct him. I would love him to get many messages.
Is it Papanodia?
I don't know, but perhaps put it in a voice note and send it to Jez.
It's not Papa Lazaro. It's Papa not Lewiski. That's Notluwiski. Okay, so I would just call him the Baron. All right.
Well, there is our top 5 then. 5, Richard, as Pete says, Marquand. 4, John Williams. 3, E.T. 2, Ralph McQuarrie. And 1, George Lucas. Do you think that's right, boys? Do you think we got that right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think we did a better job than we did with the toys. Yeah.
Yeah. Reverse wooer. You're happy with that, Jez?
Well, yeah.
How that's stuck in there.
Watch the video, Jez, and you will fall in line and go, "Yep, that is worth the exception."
Well, there it is, Cameos. Bit left field that one today. But happy days. Yeah, if you want to watch the video, head over to YouTube. Just search for Generation Skywalker. Check us out on all social media. Come and talk to us about it on We Are Generation Skywalker on Facebook. But it is for the show. Goodbye from Craig.
Cheerio.
Goodbye from Jez.
See you next time, folks. Thanks very much.
Goodbye from Peter Lee.
Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot.
Welcome home. And it is thank you and goodbye from Dave Tree.
Toodaloo.
With your reverse nonsense. And it is goodbye from me. We're Generation Skywalker. All eras, all passions, all Star Wars.